Hey everybody, so can you hear me? If you guys can just let me know. Okay, awesome. Just making sure. I'm using Streamlabs because, well, just something different. Um, so if I figure out how to, I guess you can play tic-tac-toe somehow. I don't know how you do it, but let me see. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Okay, it says you have to type. Okay, I see. I have to. It's too small for me to. Okay. Is that an L or a? Let's see. Type. Somebody type. Well, here. Exclamation point. It won't even let me type in it. Exclamation point. Okay, somebody type this for me. Okay. Exclamation point. S as in Sam. L as in Luigi. G as in George. A as in abdomen. M as in Mylanta. And E as in Erie. And then type space 9 and then enter. Did anybody do it? Hold on, let me try it. I wonder if I'm not seeing that right. Is anybody on the computer and can see? Hold on, I can look on here. Oh, okay. Let me see if it changed. I tried to change it so you just have to do exclamation point Ziggy, but well, bummer. Game settings. No big deal. I'll just take it off the screen if it won't work. I tried to change it to exclamation point Ziggy. Okay. Maybe it's just for, maybe, no, we're not playing games tonight. I just thought that would be fun to add there. Unless it's making, it doesn't make you put the exclamation points, does it? Oh, wait. Lame. Lame. Maybe that is just for Twitch or something, so we'll turn that off. Just kidding about that. People are talking and you have some explaining to do about that Subaru. Was it worth it? What about the Subaru? What is going on with the Subaru now? Interact. Hopefully, let's see, what point was it? I haven't watched any of this, so I just saw it, you know, anything that has PG and Dawn on it at the same time, it's got to be quite interesting. Let me know in the chat, 'cause since this is a new program I'm using right now, let me know if it echoes when I play it. Thank you everybody for coming in here. Let me let me know if it echoes. We can just go ahead and start.
You have done something to your daughter.
I have no idea. It's always a possibility, but I don't know.
Do you find it funny that she tried to protect him so much? Do you find it funny? I mean, you lived right across the road from them. Did you not find it weird that she had put him in the military now and everything else to hide him away?
From what I understand, he joined the military to just get away from his mom and the whole 9 yards. I mean, I don't blame him for that, but I don't know. I have no idea. They pretty much, you know, the two kids that she has pretty much stayed in their room and play games all the time. They didn't hardly go anywhere or do anything, as far as I know.
If he did do something to your daughter, do you think Andy and Jody Sue would cover it up for him?
I really don't know. I mean, of course, most people will cover up for their kids, try to save their life. You know, I would say, you know, I don't know though.
I mean, you knew there's some. What kind of boy was he?
I really didn't know him because he stayed to himself, you know, at their house. We offered for them to come over and play with our kids and stuff, but they never would. Every once in a while, Jody Sue would send him over for some reason or the other to borrow something or whatever, you know, but that's the only times we ever seen him. We never got to know him or the little girl.
Is anybody gonna ask him about him swimming with Summer? Did anybody bring that up? Trying to figure out how I'm supposed to pin comments on the screen with this. But do you guys think it's possible also that they made a decision as kind of like a team? What I mean is like the people involved in Summer's disappearance. Do you think it's possible? Let's just say hypothetically, it was the main suspects that many people have named, like let's say Candace, Dawn, Jody Sue, Andy. Do you think it's possible that they're just blaming that they made a decision just to blame each other? PG did bring it up? Okay. Then I'll continue here. Because he's acting like... And also, I mean, that boy... Jody's son has a really bad anger problem, according to Fred and Laura. And that he used to, like, beat on his grandma. That he was, like, really demented.
At all. You know?
Now I've heard Fred Hill said that a week and a half before Summer came up missing, that Jody Sue's son was up there playing in the swimming pool with Summer by herself.
No.
There's no truth to that?
I don't think so, no. No, and we just had, you know, a couple little pools that we bought. Candace bought a couple big pools, but, you know, they tear up pretty fast. But no, he never come over. Her kids never come over and done anything, you know, with our family like that.
So Fred Hill was lying.
Well, Fred Hill, I don't want to say anything bad, you know, but he, how can I say this? I don't. He starts to throw everybody off. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God, you were so full of it. Oh, can't wait to go tell Fred this. To me, it sounded like he was kind of afraid to even say anything. It sounded like he was trying to catch himself because he knows that Fred is like one of the only witnesses that day. And Dawn went down there trying to talk to them after he got out of jail. Do you guys know that? Trying to be all buddy-buddy with them. They're like, you probably shouldn't come around here. Probably not a good idea. So, Amber, I guess that might answer your question. He has a lot to say about Fred during this live? Oh, cool. Let's hear it, because I find it interesting. It's not just Fred, just how I think there's a lot of clues in the people, like, they blame, and if you pay attention, like yesterday when I played I think, well, in this instant, I think that he's upset because Fred has put out a lot, and wore a wire on him, according to himself. So I'm sure, Dawn, you guys got to remember that too. We have to keep that in perspective. We have to remember Fred claims he wore a wire on Dawn in relevance to Summer's disappearance. Don's probably about to say he's crazy or something. Or he plays a lot of games or whatever. I don't know. Just the same thing that Jody Sue tried to spread. Like he was just crazy and, you know, just made it seem like he was just psychotic from meth use and all this and that, and it's not like that.
He's throwing everybody off, guys.
Is there a possibility that Fred Hill could have done something?
It is possible. He left out about the time Summer disappeared to take off all that scrap metal. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible
Now,
for a
Fred
lot of
Hill,
different, you know, but
Fred Hill happened to say something. When he said that Summer was up there in the pool with Jody Sue's son, he also said that he felt that Jody Sue's son was thinking dirty things about Summer.
What the hell did PG just say? Who was thinking dirty things about Summer? She said that so-and-so was thinking... Can you... One of you guys... I could rewind it, I guess. I didn't really want to, but... He won't come on... You guys, he is very timid. He is an extremely timid guy. No, not Fred. You know, no. It said... Fred said... So-and-so was having dirty thoughts about Summer. I don't remember him... That's not true, PG. That's not true. Oh, my God. Is that true? I don't remember him saying that. That is not true at all. Oh, my God. PG, I mean, I was like excited about all the questions she's asking. I mean, I understand things get like mixed up and stuff, but that's not true. He never said that. He didn't say that about anybody, though. That's the thing. That's why it caught me off guard, because I'm like, who? How would he know if he was having dirty thoughts about anybody? She might be live. It's okay. I'm not mad at PG or anything. I just am like, that's not what happened at all. Now, people, I think, might have insinuated that with him being in the pool by himself with Summer. I think some people let their minds go, you know, crazy. But he didn't say something like that at all. So let's make sure that that's like that's a big, allegation. Really? Twice Dawn admitted to seeing Fred hauling scrap that day and then saw him again after cops arrived. Just like Fred said, he saw him that day on this live stream. So he says he saw Fred hauling scrap, or did he just hear this through people? Did he actually say he witnessed Fred doing that? Because I don't think it was hauling scrap. It was towing vehicles out of there. As far as I remember, I thought it was vehicles. I agree, miss you. Kind of put him on the spot. He sounded like he didn't want to say. I know. I understand but I feel like he's hesitating because he knows that Fred is one of the only witnesses that day. And he also knows that I'm sure it's got back to Dawn about Fred wearing a wire, or claiming he wore a wire on him. But you know what really makes me uncomfortable about this situation even more is a possible, when I think about possible law enforcement involvement, I think back to Fred saying how he wore a wire on Dawn, and the whole freaking thing got freaking erased. And he was told, like, oh, they have no idea what happened. And then the guy, now we don't know, he doesn't know if it's related why the guy was taken off Summer's case, but Fred said a few days later here's the guy who administered or did this, set him up to wire him or whatever, the device or whatever they do. He was taken off Summer's case. I don't know if it's related, but and either does Fred. He doesn't know if it's related, but he just thought it was strange. Because supposedly some of that most of the conversation, I think pretty much all of it, actually, they did get some, and they got to hear it live, but it was, according to him, completely erased.
And
That's
so
possible.
if he was thinking that Jody Sue's son was thinking dirty things about your daughter, I mean, I don't know what Jody Sue's son was thinking. He may have not been thinking anything at all. But we do know
Right.
he was thinking something nasty because he said Jody Sue's son was, right? So he had
Yeah.
nasty about your daughter.
This really makes me upset. You cannot go, PG, no, I'm sorry, like, you cannot go around saying things about like that so frivolously. You cannot do that. That, people are already mistaking him with Frank Light. You're gonna put a target on this man's back. Nobody likes a chomo. That is not true at all. It's just, I don't like, that was just, oh my gosh, sorry guys. I'm not mad at EPG, but come on, I mean, that's just reckless.
By saying that his son was thinking that. So that was
I'll tell you.
in his mind.
Something amazing to me, my last little go around in jail was the amount of people that they had child pornography on their phones or other devices, and if you have that kind of stuff on your phone, it goes to the iCloud or whatever like that. They will hunt you down and they will find you, and you're going to do a lot.
Really? So he's saying he was in jail with people like this? Is that what he's admitting to? People like that are separated. So were you put in, he must have been put in protective custody, huh? Was he in he probably was in some kind of special block. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, Fred never said anything about, Fred nor Laura said anything about, I even asked them that question if they ever heard anything like that about Andy, and they both said no. Well, Andy Jr. or aka Damien, they both said no. That is so incorrect. And that's, when it comes to SA, child SA, like, you cannot, like, just, like, that is a big accusation that ruins men's life all the time. Even men who don't even didn't have anything to do with that, or even never. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's.
A lot of time just for how, and it's amazing to me. I don't even know where they get this stuff or what, but it's so devastating the way they portray little kids in these pornography things.
Well, a lot of it comes from the dark web. There's a dark web that you can go
Oh,
to and
okay.
access it from there. But also, like in your email,
Listen to Don trying to act like he's completely clueless. Oh, okay.
you got to be careful opening your emails because if you open an email, sometimes there'll be a bunch of that attached to that email.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad I don't know how to do email then.
Yeah.
I mean, people post dirty stuff on my Facebook all the time. I have to check it every day and take it off.
Yeah,
But
I do too. I do too. I've had some. Where did that come from? Thank God it's mostly grown women or
yeah,
men, but I ain't had no children. Like it's usually grown men or women, and it's usually from another country. I got to be careful not to accept any friend requests from people that's in other countries.
I think it's really bad because they portray, you know, these people in scenes like bondage uh, and stuff like that, as if that they really like this kind of thing. And I think it really twists a lot of people's minds. The whole pornography thing is way out of hand.
I don't think that it twists their mind. I think that people that research and get stuff like that, their mind's already twisted.
Yeah, they just look for it.
Because they're actually seeking it. Where are you going?
That's what I was wondering. Are you heading back home?
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just left a major snowstorm. It's on my tail. Every time I stop, the rain catches up with me. So it's been following me all the way.
Well, you better be careful.
Oh yeah.
So you're driving back. You're driving back to Tennessee.
Yes.
Yeah. So you better be careful because it get bad.
Yeah, I hate driving the freeway at night. I hate driving the freeway because you hit those fog. You'll hit a place where you can't see nothing.
Yeah, but daytime you hit traffic jams in the cities, and it's horrible.
Yeah. During the day, it's true. During the day, you got people going 90 and trying to run you over. But at night, it's at night the freeway ain't so bad. But I hate that fog. You can't see nothing. You can that.
Yeah, I don't care for driving at night, but the alternative's worse. So,
Right.
Don, do you know a guy named David Cohen?
I don't.
People was asking that in the chat. That's what I was.
Yeah, when I worked for Tucker Drywall, everybody, that's the only people I knew is everybody that worked for Tucker Drywall, and that's the only people I hung out with day after day. I didn't want to know all these other people because I knew there's a lot of shady stuff going on. But
Don, is the TBI reaching out to you all at all and trying to? No.
Oh no. No, I mean, I can call them and they'll just say, well, we're still looking into stuff and stuff like that. But if they want to talk to me and ask me questions, they got my phone number. But I mean, they're not going to tell us anything because it's an investigation. They're not going to let nothing leak out. They're very tight-lipped about what's going on. So it's hard to say what's going on or where they're at or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for
Well,
good reason.
oh, yeah. You don't want to do anything to mess up the case, and
Yeah.
they find Summer for you and find out who took this baby.
Yeah.
Donald,
Yeah.
did you ever get that guy named David Bush checked out? It's on your YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, he's. I think he's just a kid or somebody just interested in helping to find Summer. Like a lot of people get wrapped up into it, like we did. I think he's just one of those that just got wrapped up into the whole thing. I mean, I think anyway.
I know that he said, because I checked him out early on, and I know that he said that he was raised right there somewhere around Tennessee. He's in New York now, but his grandmother supposedly owned some type of home or something there in Tennessee.
I tried to pause it real. It's harder to pause this from this setup here. But anyways, when he said it's just another guy that got wrapped up in this like we did. What? Now who is this guy anyways? Don the Con. David Cohen as Green Eyes. This guy is supposed to be scary. I don't know. Green Eyes, like, has a very distinct, like, he sounds exactly like Griff, if any of you guys know who he is. So much so when I was the one, I don't know, for those who have been around for over a year, you can probably remember when Green Eyes used to call and harass me, like, nonstop. He actually, as far as I know, I was the first lucky wiener of the contest as far as YouTubers that he contacted. And from there, it went to Jody Sue. I believe I gave him Benny's phone number because me and Benny were in a war then. But yeah, he hasn't, I don't know, he kind of fizzled out the last few months. Is he really in the military? Is that true? That's a good question, Jane. Those are pretty, I mean, from what I hear, those are pretty intense. Well, I would think anyways, but I don't know. I know some people, well, never mind. He makes your skin crawl. Yeah.
If I remember right, it wasn't too far from. I just took note that he's followed this case from the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's unusual for a man. What I'm saying is, women, yes, but that is, and he's always stayed on your tail.
Yeah. That's one thing about. Yeah. I really don't know though.
Every single Facebook you've had, he's made sure he gets a friend on it.
I know that some people have definitely checked him out because that did seem odd, and so he has definitely been checked out. I do know that much.
Are you going to do anything for Summer's birthday?
Well, I didn't want to because I didn't want to celebrate her birthday without her, but I want to go out and meet the people like yourselves and talk with them and just try to be supportive of everybody who's not just there for summer, but for all missing kids and stuff like that. And I just wanted to get out and try to show support.
Where's he's oh my gosh. That is just not normal things to say as a parent. I'm sorry. Don, you're the one that's supposed to be getting support. You're the one that's supposed to be needing support right now. WTF? Have you been just going through life mirroring people's emotions? Do you not know how you're supposed to act here? I mean, this is weird. Yeah, Mimi. You you think you think Grandma knows where she's at? She she probably does, or I don't know. I think she at least knows what happened to her. I'm not saying that she's involved. I don't think she's directly involved, but having knowledge of it is, guilt to me in this situation. We're dealing with a child, and you have to do the right thing. And just, if you know anything, Candy, if you're listening or hear this, you just have to do the right thing. Unfortunately, no, it's a hard position to be in. I understand. It would be a hard position to be in, but if you know something, just do the right thing and, let law enforcement know. And I'm sure they would understand you not speaking for a while, and I'm sure they'll have sympathy. I'm sure you can get, if you didn't have anything to do with it, I'm sure you can get, what's the word? I want to say exonerated, but I know that's not the right word. She's talked to him like that on here before. It just depends. Like, they have the craziest relationship. Dawn loves to get abused by women, I swear. Like, it's so crazy. Oh gosh, I don't want to picture him like that, but I could see him like with a ball gag and he's so, I don't know. It's crazy to me. Sorry for the visual.
Our minds have been so screwed up and backwards and everything else throughout the trauma of it all and everything. We've made a lot of mistakes, and I apologize for a lot of people. If we've done a lot of dumb things, to say the least. And I'm just trying to fix things, do things right for once.
Yeah.
For sure, and I really appreciate y'all's concern for my daughter, and also,
So if I came to if I come down to Tennessee, I'll be able to walk all around your land up there.
well, Candace is still pretty. She's been traumatized to the max.
She is
I
a
mean,
Sour Patch baby.
huh?
She is a Sour Patch baby.
I am.
No, Candace.
Oh,
Candace just,
well,
she's mad at you, then she loves you. Then she's mad at you, then she loves you.
she can't help it though. I mean, a lot of women are like that. I mean, I've seen times where you've been mad at me, sissy, and you're mad at me, and then you like me. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing.
It's the
Yeah.
truth.
Well, Dawn, you're the same way. Twinsies. You're mad at her, then you like her. You're mad at her, then you like her. Women unite.
I gotta give you that.
But I mean, I think it's good to come together for a common goal. What you guys was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
and that's great. That's awesome. We need to forget,
Donald.
Hold on a minute.
You might be getting a phone call.
Summer at all. And I put the video out to prove it. So,
that's great. Thank you so much. That's big of you.
Candace told the truth on that.
Awesome. Thanks. She'll really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't understand. When all this first happened, Candace and Allie, and then Allie begged Candace to take Hunter to the lake, and she went out of her way to go pick him up and took him out there. And then when Summer, everything was fine until Summer disappeared, and then all of a sudden they completely turned on Candace, and CM come into the picture, and then my stepsisters come into the picture, and they threw everything off. They just like they was trying to throw everything away. It was like they was trying to think of how to word this. Take the focus off of Summer and put it all on me and Candace. And the cops took that to heart. Police took that to heart, and they was really, and not only YouTubers, but the police was just questioning us, like looking hard at us. Everybody was, and it was a complete and utter nightmare.
Once again, like, he cannot take any type of responsibility for any of his actions. Everything that has happened, it's the stepsister's fault. All the backlash he's received from YouTube and all the hate, it's just, it's all because of the stepsisters and it's YouTubers' fault. They were focusing on the wrong things, and and it's YouTubers' fault why Summer's not found right now. That's how he's trying to gaslight this and turn it around, you see? Because that's how I look at it. Dawn, I think I'm sorry, I just feel like you have to know. But I know there's a lot of people who, hey, I've gone back and forth. I go back and forth about it with Dawn. Allie was asleep when Candace picked up H. Allie was asleep. Let me. She was asleep at one point. Was it when she picked him up or when Yeah, when she picked him up, supposedly she was asleep. I feel like Allie and Candace and them are just, and Jody Sue are just all blaming each other because they're all involved. So I think that they're all trying to pin it on each other. But what's going to happen? None of them are going to, if it gets pinned on any of them, they're going to speak and tell on the others. No way is one of them going to take this and take responsibility for this and go down by themselves. I feel like they're all blaming each other, hoping that they can get out of it, but everybody's going to end up singing like a canary.
It really broke us down. We're sitting here we're trying to tell people our story about summer, and people just are not listening because they threw everything off so bad, and it was just the worst. It was like living in an actual nightmare, and I could just imagine Summer just, Daddy, please come and get me, help me, and I don't know where she is, don't know what to do, and I was just completely losing my mind.
Oh yeah. But you seem to be doing so much better now, Don. You're doing wonderful. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to move on because if it wasn't, I try to think of God like regards to what was saying earlier, and what would God want me to do, and I have to move forward. I can't.
Right.
I have no choice. I have to leave.
God would want you to do everything. God would want you to do everything you can, Donald, to bring your baby home. Whether
Yes.
she's with us or she's not with us, he would say, do everything you can to bring that baby home.
I think he's getting bad service there for a minute.
Brain, that
I was like, where did prayer garden go? Prayer garden left me.
Yeah. I've tried driving around. I've tried looking everywhere. It about got me into a lot of trouble real fast. I went, I was ready to kick in all the meth head stores in if I could find them all. I was ready to. But.
Which one is it, Don? Were you ready to kick in the meth head doors? Or did you kick in the meth head doors? I mean, like, you said both. And you keep going back and forth. So, like, did you or didn't you?
After a while, I realized that social media is the most powerful tool that we have for things like this.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Summer is I cannot tell you, Donald, that you cannot join hands with everyone out there to bring your daughter home.
Anybody would.
I know I would walk through, actually, to be honest with you, I'd walk through hell or hot coals to bring Summer home.
Yeah, right.
I love this little girl.
What you go through, Don, except you and Candace, what y'all go through. I mean,
well, I knew it was still there. You knew it was still there, but I just want to clarify it for everybody out here that it's still there.
For sure, yeah.
This is what little time I've taught you, Don. There's been so many people make up lies that I know are just lies.
I guess some people just don't have nothing better to do than to cause chaos for everybody else, I guess.
Do you guys have any? Hey, Donald, do you guys got any photos, like more recent photos of summer before she came up missing? Maybe something, for her birthday parties.
The last, all the photos that I had on my old phone, I put on Facebook in the hopes that someone would recognize her. And the
Yeah,
only
that
photos,
does.
Candace has some baby pictures that she's holding on to because she don't feel, she wants to hang on to them because that's all she has left.
The baby, as you should, because the baby photos ain't gonna bring her home.
No.
We need the photos. We need the photos right recent. Before she came up missing.
If you think about it, that one photo when she was asleep by the milk jug, that was the last photo.
I know.
And that's what she was wearing when she disappeared.
Oh. People want to know about that darn couch, Don. Can you tell them what happened to that couch?
Blue? Well, I don't know. I don't have no idea.
That's red flags. Red flag alert. Red flag alert. Unless, okay, I don't know. Maybe Candace got rid of it while he was in Utah or something. I don't know. So, but that house that they're in is very, maybe what, like 400, 500 square feet. It's so small. I don't know how he wouldn't have ever asked, like, oh, where'd that couch go? I do think it's very, very, very possible. I was listening to somebody the other day, and they mentioned something about, what was it I was about to say about, I'll think of it in a second. Dag nabbit. Just when I thought my memory was getting better. That sucks, Jam. I did notice though on my backup channel they gave me my subscribers back finally. Now it finally says the right amount. But it still has the old picture, which is fine. I'm going to rename it, I think. Well, I do like getting Ziggy with it, but I don't know. Candace got rid of a full-on couch. It would be sitting in her backyard. It's in the woods where Dawn left it. I'm trying to think. There was something. I'll think of it. Let's listen to this.
We hauled everything out of the house. We completely stripped the house down because it was just. And the last time TBI, nobody knows about this, but when I was in jail, I mean, they searched our property, they searched our house at least 10 times. All different kinds of agencies all over the place. They tore everything up over and over and over again. Tore everything out of my trucks, threw it on the ground.
You was in jail?
Well, no, before I went to jail. But I guess when I was in jail, they decided that they wanted to serve me with a search warrant because somebody said there was something to do with our safe, and so they kicked the door in and tore my safe off the floor, stuff like that. But I told them, you guys ain't never needed a search warrant before. I mean, but I don't know.
Right.
But they didn't. So I don't know why they felt like they needed a search warrant.
And why didn't they use a locksmith? why didn't we use a locksmith open the door for him? They knew nobody was there, but you're in jail. Candace was gone. Grandis was gone. Why didn't they just use a locksmith? They could, 5 minutes. They could get the door open. They didn't need to kick it in.
I don't think they're not that sophisticated like on the shows. You know what I mean? Like the spy shows where they have these special tools that can pick any lock. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Why didn't they just ask him for the combination or whatever? Did they not have access to this safe? I mean, or what? Had trail cameras and allegedly something that might have been caught in neighbors. Also, the cops also took a camera out of the Wells house that they never got back. Yes, I want to. Did they talk about that camera? Because that was something that we were talking about yesterday that I hadn't thought of in a long time. And Michelle D gave me a really cool idea for a future video, so that's in the works. It's going to be very interesting. She said she could have got in with a credit card. Oh, PG. Oh, man.
They just kick the door in. It's a lot easier.
Wow.
Was the window in the basement busted out at any time?
Yeah, I mean the kids busted one of them out a while back, but I mean I repaired it the best I could.
Right.
Tape and stuff for now. But.
Yeah, because I took note in one of the pictures of Summer. The basement window was busted out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the boys are pretty tough. I mean, they're old.
So what did they do? What did they do after they kicked your door open? Did they come back and fix it, or did they just leave your house unlocked?
They left it unlocked.
Wow.
They just left the door open, and so some animals got in there.
Oh my, that's not right.
We basically lost everything. We hauled everything out, stripped everything down.
Well, to me, it sounds like they think if they're treating them like that and just, it sounds like to me that law enforcement feels like pretty confident that Don and Candace had something to do with it, allegedly. Or know something. Because I don't know. I understand that they don't go back and do. Is that normal? Does law enforcement, they don't have to repair that stuff, like, at all? How can they, I don't understand how they can be allowed to just come in and destroy things and not have it fixed, but moved out in the middle of the night. I don't believe that they didn't lock it back. Yeah, he's probably trying to make him look bad. It probably was when Candace left. She just left it all open. Is he saying investigators broke in? Something about, didn't they have a search warrant or something? Wow. It seems like they would have to somehow be responsible for that, Dee Dee. Especially in that instance where they were at the wrong house. Like, that seems like they would be obligated to somehow hire somebody or something. Pay for the damages, or H was up there before Candace moved out. You think so? Well, while Dawn was in jail? I do know H was in, kid jail for a while. No reporter break-in that I'm calling B.
It started over. I've almost got the basement finished.
I'm sorry about that.
Done a lot of work.
Don,
Yeah.
do you all have a habitat in Kingsport? Because
Yeah.
there is down here, maybe.
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, we sure do.
Well,
I would talk to them if they could help you.
Well, the church helped us out with some things. And they've been really good. Right now, I'm just trying to get work. The suckers.
Are you still going to the Seventh-day Vintage Church?
Well, I'm trying to, but I just, with everything that's happened and people showing up at the church, and we don't have our kids. It's so hard to go to church and watch other people with their kids, and they're so happy. And me and Candace just feel completely lost.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat says, what happened to the pillow Summer supposedly sat on in the car?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I really don't know.
That's the pillow she showed Benny, and from what Benny said, Candace still had it.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I hate that they
I'd
come
be upset if I came home and my front door was kicked open. I'd be pissed. Because law enforcement, if they kick your door open, they're supposed to pay to get it fixed. Especially if they didn't find anything.
Well, we are talking about Hawkins County.
That's true. That's true.
That's the first truth he spoke yet. My daughter had her house raided. It's unbelievable what they do to your home and property. That's crazy. Why did I find this so... I wish I could pin comments. I don't know how... It won't let me pin comments, but... I found this so funny for some reason. Dumb Beesh. I've had my place tossed a time or two. Have you really? She acts like it's just like an everyday thing. Oh, it's, just an everyday thing around here. I don't know why I found that so funny. They actually do destroy things.
And if and if they served you a search warrant and you said, hey, this ain't needed, then they could have got a locksmith to open the door.
Yeah, that sounds great, but the reality of it is,
The reality of it is they would be fixing my door.
Well, they might because you might be down there raising the hill, and everything. They probably fix your door, but me, I'm not going to go down there and raise hell because they might just throw my ass in jail.
I'm like that. I don't mess with them myself. I just...
I would be down there. I would be down there. I do.
I believe,
I don't give a damn
I
if they
believe,
throw me in jail. They can
I
throw me
believe,
in jail. They're gonna
I
fix my
believe,
front door.
I believe if Sissy went down there, they'd definitely be up there fixing their door.
Yep,
I believe that.
I believe it too, Don. Cece's firecracker.
Yeah.
I just hate that. I told everybody, I was like, y'all, Don is not who people think. I mean, he's been doing good. He's been, working from
I'm,
daylight to dark.
I'm trying. I'm not nowhere near perfect. Y'all know that, but I am trying. We'll say
None of us
that.
are perfect, though.
Alright. That's all we can do.
Yeah,
Um, I could have used a credit card and opened the door.
Well, it was dead bolted.
And then you know what? A drill.
Yeah.
All you have to
someone
do is
got
use
to
a
open the
drill,
door.
and that would still leave one lock to be able to shut and lock it. So at least
Yeah.
it would be secure.
Do you think someone might have opened that door and went outside?
I don't know. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah,
She was probably upset the boys wouldn't go downstairs and play with her. And it's hard to say, if someone was already down there, or because the boys would leave the door open all the time. They'd go running around chasing each other, and stuff, and just leave the door wide open. I don't know how many times I've found the door wide open, and you can talk to your blue in the face, and it just don't change nothing.
right.
But,
I know how boys are. Oh, I've got one here. I've got one. I couldn't imagine having three. Because
yeah,
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my doors be unlocked because he's been up in the bathroom going, yeah,
exactly.
I've got three sons, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't wake up with no doors unlocked. They know better.
Yeah.
And not only that, though, I got an alarm system. You set the alarm system, and they open the door.
Sissy sounds like she's done a few B&Es. Oh no, she's been pretty good about. We might not ever know. Everybody gets doxxed in this community when you become a creator, but she's done pretty well keeping some mysteriousness again, some mysterious in who she is. Some people think they know who she is, but the picture that people keep showing of her is actually not her. They keep showing Denise. You would think Candace, you're breaking my fucking door. Yep. And it is safe for them to leave their doors open out there. Jane, don't. In my opinion, it's still, especially up there at Dawn and Candace's. Now, not all those places on Ben Hill, but like Dawn and Candace's, nobody's walking through those woods to. I don't believe anybody's walking just straight up that driveway or into the woods, up into the property. I just don't believe that. It's so far. And no, so they're going to go through all that work, go up there just to see, let's see if there's some kids up here. Broke down doors or windows. No, my daughter's never done that. She sure has a temper, though. Well, it's not temper. That's not true. She gets stressed like I do.
You want to know it, right?
I wish I would have had all that stuff, cameras and everything now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's important. It is important, you know. It's important for every community to have camera systems. It's important for every community to have alarm systems. I don't care where you live. You really honestly need them to keep your children safe.
Yeah, I definitely highly recommend it now. A fenced yard with German shepherds or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Do y'all have any dogs up there anymore? Or
Well, we had a bunch of hounds up there, but they was just absolutely friendly with everybody. You know,
okay. Yeah.
they weren't. You know,
Yeah. My neighbor stays over here all the time. I might as well
yeah,
just adopt it because it stays over here all the time. But we just don't ever think that something like that's going to happen. We just don't know. And especially, where you're at, but things like that does happen.
yeah.
That's true.
There were
I
so many people that lived up there, like you said, that was not good people, like that had bad.
I I have to agree with law enforcement. I got to agree with law enforcement.
Is anybody paying attention to how fast Don is driving? He's driving like Speedy Gonzales. It's like putting me in a trance. Watch, he's like speeding past everybody. Don's first excuse was all the drug using bad characters in the neighborhood. This three know everything. Yes. We hear cars coming along before they get here. Nobody's coming down that road. Similar to Don and Candace's. Yeah, nobody goes down there. I mean, I do. I mean, I have, but I never saw anybody out there. Every time I've been out there, the only time I've been on the road, or the two of the times that I've been on Ben Hill, I've seen a car. 2 out of what, like 20 times? 2 out of 20 times or so. So 1 out of 10. One time I saw some guy coming from the Redmonds, I think, and then then Fred Hill came up behind me. Yeah, he's going so fast.
Enforcement. Whoever took Summer was right there in that area. I mean, I don't think he left the area.
They're definitely familiar with the area for sure.
Yeah.
You have to look at Jody Sue, her family. You've got to look at Fred Hill. You've got to look at the people right there around you. Right there around you.
We've tried. We have as much as possible.
I know.
We're talking to Fred. Talking to Fred is like talking to, I don't know. You're not going to get a straight answer out of him. Period. It's pointless.
That is such a lie. He's the most straightforward, he is the most transparent, honest person of anybody. Listen to how much information we've got out of him. Why is he saying stuff like that? Now Haskell Rhines, that's true. Haskell Rhines, you're definitely not going to get us, because he's, like, he would start talking about what you were talking about, and then he would just start, like, out of nowhere. Like, it was crazy. He kept thinking I was somebody else and talking to me like I was a different person. It was a very odd experience. But I've never noticed Fred being, like, not being able to answer questions. He just got out of jail for DUI. He shouldn't have a driver's license. He probably, well, he wouldn't have had to do jail time had he of not. Wait, you're right. He should. Did he get a DUI for that first incident with the Jose incident? Did they get him for a DUI that time? And he violate that probation with a DUI? Is it true that he's not supposed to be going outside of the state? Is that true? Break up your house. No, he won't go after. Fred will not go bother Dawn at all. He will not. Now, if Dawn came down there starting trouble, yeah. But Fred's not the type to I mean, from what I've noticed, he's not the type to go out looking for trouble. He just seems to mind his own business and do his thing and, work on his cars, maybe, do a little bit of trading and whatever. That's his everyday thing, is like these little hustles with vehicles, and he's always outside, he's busy. He doesn't go out looking for trouble like that. And he's not, one that drinks. And he has admitted to doing meth, which, that is concerning, because I do know meth does cause like psychotic, like psychotic episodes in some. But I have never noticed anything, besides the monkeys thing, but now we've had even, several others confirm this monkey story. When he said that monkey story, though, at first I was like, man, maybe he is a little bit, like, crazy from drugs or something. But now we hear, like, I guess it's just like anybody else, like, believing in Bigfoot or something. It sounds like it's really possible. They have all those caves out there. I asked Haskell Ryan's nephew, I go, how would the monkeys live out here? They said they go down, or they travel back south, or they, the caves. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. There's all kinds of caves out there. He got pulled over for drinking. I would think at least suspend his license. He didn't even do court-ordered rehab. Why would Fred be the go-to guy that Dawn went to after Summer got gone, then as soon as release right to Fred again? Exactly. That's a very good point, Walter Cronkite. Wish I could pin your comment. But, exactly. Because that's not why he went down to Fred's. He didn't go down to Fred's to kick in some meth head's door and see if he had Summer in there. That's not why he did that. He went down there the night that Summer went missing, and just like he went down there the night he got out of jail, or after he got out of jail, he just wants to know what Fred knows. See what's being said, and what's the talk around town, and what are people saying, and Don would get himself into legal trouble, and he'd go down there and ask Fred his advice because he had been in some, trouble before. Which Dawn's had way more experience with the court system than Fred Hill, so I don't know. I mean, I would think Dawn would know more, but Fred's one of those that is better with he's not like an intellect. He's a one that works with his hands, like with mechanics and stuff and fixing things. He's not going to be knowledgeable, like reading encyclopedias and know all this stuff on law. Dawn always seems to attack those that are seemingly the most honest. We don't even know if it... I guess part of it was deer bones, though. He said... But that's what he said. He said it was partially deer bones. And when you listen to the recording, he even said it was... that some of them are deer bones. So he knew it, that some of them were deer bones. But he didn't know if all of them were, because they were crushed. That's why. I mean, if you listen to the recording, he does say that he knew that some of them were deer bones, but yeah, they were like crushed and burned for some odd reason. But there was definitely like a mandible that, I guess he was able to tell it was deer.
I don't know him myself or anything like that, but I've just, other creators.
Hey, Donald. Would you have any idea that Hunter was with Candace on June 15, 2021?
Was what? Where?
When Summer came up missing, the day Summer came up missing, did you have?
Yeah,
did you have any idea that she had Hunter in the car with him?
Yeah, I talked to her on the phone. She said she was going to go to the lake and wait till they filled the prescription. And since that was the case, I went ahead and just stayed at work longer to get more done. I was talking to my buddy Jamie out there for probably an hour, and
So you knew Hunter was with her when they went to the water hole.
Yeah, Candace was always trying to help them kids, as much as possible, because she felt like they didn't have a whole lot or could get out much, or
Right.
So she was always trying to be the good person that tries to help the kids out. All her girls and everything, she hung out with them too. Stuff.
I heard other people say, I did hear, other people have hit me up in my emails and so forth and told me that they also try to, take her in them places because Allie didn't ever go anywhere.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. I met him at the lake a few times after work, and they'd be fishing, having pizza, and all the kids would just be having a blast,
Donald.
Yeah.
Did Fred Hill come up there the night Summer came up missing on June 15th? Did he come down there the very night that Summer came up missing to talk with you?
No, I don't think he did that night because law enforcement was all over the place. They parked one of their police cars up right by our house for probably 6-7 days straight. They stayed there all night long in the car. And then they posted up down there on Ben Hill Road, and they pretty much blocked that Ben Hill Road also.
Right.
For a long time, for probably 2 weeks. But he did eventually come up and talk to me, and was trying to figure out, in his own mind probably what happened or what's exactly going on.
But
yeah,
he stayed away. He stayed away.
At first.
What is she getting at here? I didn't know little PG has such a hard on for freaking Fred Hill. Is she usually like that, or is it just because Dawn's on panel? I don't understand. He went down to Fred's the night the Summer went missing. Fred did say he saw an exchange of money between Andy and Dawn, so he had to have gone down there at some point. I think he did talk about that. I wish my conversation with him would have recorded. I'm so bummed about it. Ugh. You know what's crazy though, Dumb Beach? When that time that I went to their church and Candace and Dawn were there, the short time that Candace was there, when she did finally come in, because she did stay in the car for a lot of it. I don't know if she has some kind of social anxiety or what, but anyways, at one point she did come in, and that little girl that everybody says looks like Summer, she was down there that little girl loved Candace. It was funny. And Candace was sitting on the floor with her and coloring, and I don't know if Candace was putting on a show or whatever, but I was like, wow, I kind of wonder if it is possible that Candace has been pressured into some things. I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Didn't you find that kind of weird that he would, it's like he was avoiding law enforcement?
Well, they probably questioned him and everybody else because I was freaking out so bad at first. I was telling law enforcement, in my opinion, with there's so much traffic going through there, I felt like somebody probably on meth that was going back there probably seen her and decided to grab her, or see if, it was just a crime of opportunity and they got away with it. That's what I was thinking in my mind.
So why do you think Fred's telling so many lies?
That's a good question. It's a real good question. I don't.
What lies? What lies? I don't understand what lies she's talking about. And he wasn't avoiding law enforcement. He actually wore a wire for law enforcement. I don't understand where she got this. And that he was avoiding law enforcement? So basically, people give you shit, or Jody Sue's shit because she was sitting at the bottom driveway for 3 days. But because I don't understand that. He was supposed to be hanging out there? Down there at the bottom? He wasn't avoiding law enforcement. What the hell? Is he supposed to be just sitting at the end of the road for... he's not a busybody like freaking Jody Sue. I don't understand what she's saying he lied about. And her saying that, people run with that.
I don't know why he's doing these things exactly. It could be the same reason Jody Sue is, just because, just to throw off all the YouTubers in her own mind, she thinks it's like a game and it's or whatever. You know, that's what I feel Jody Sue and Fred both are doing. Just
Yeah,
for
I
fun,
agree.
kicks.
Oh, yeah, that's what Fred's doing, right? We can't even get him on the freaking phone. Nobody can get him on a panel. You know how many times I've asked him? Come on, Dawn. That is such a lie. I had to go out to him. I had to travel there. He didn't reach out to me. Every time they don't just only once or twice have they just messaged me with something like that, like info, which is basically just saying, oh, the lights were on up the hill all night. They don't reach out to me. I don't understand what he's talking about. He's not doing anything. I went there myself. I went out there. If nobody would have ever heard from Fred had I not gone out there. So we'd still be wondering what Fred Hill thought.
Some fun, but
Views. But at the end of the day, you're without a baby daughter.
right.
So,
I've lived in other cities before, in like Tampa, Florida, and some big cities, and I'll tell you, when them police want answers, there ain't nobody moving no drugs and nowhere.
He didn't talk about it to the internet. He talked about it to me. And it was a year after it happened. He literally did not tell me anything about that wire until he didn't even tell me the first time. He told me a year after he had done it. Okay? He told me in June of 2022 about the wire incident. I first met Fred in December of 2021. I went, and he didn't tell me about it then. He didn't say anything. The next time, in June of 2022, almost a year after, that is the time that he told me that he wore a wire. So, it was a year afterwards, so I guess he figured it was probably okay. I don't think he was probably really supposed to say anything, but he did, because, after a year, he probably was like, whatever, I'm sure they probably don't think people are going to go around telling people, oh, I wore a wire, nobody does that. I was surprised that Fred told me that. Would you go around saying that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I didn't even say, when I first heard about it, I didn't even put it out at first, because I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, I didn't put it out for like 3 months after he told me, because I didn't want him to. First of all, I was like, I don't think I should put it on YouTube, I didn't want to put that on YouTube. I didn't want to give Dawn a heads up or anything like that. Or I also didn't want to cause any harm to come to Fred. But Fred at the same time knew that everything that I say to him is recorded, because he's heard the videos and everything. He knows, so he's aware. But I just decided that's the one thing I didn't tell everybody for a few months, because I didn't know how to go about that. But by the time it went on YouTube, it had been over a year and, a year and a few months since he had done that. Because he wore a wire. This was within the first couple weeks. From my understanding. It wasn't like it was like months later. It was very, very early on when the cops were hanging out there and stuff. And Don was coming down there and talking to him. And, they wanted to hear, law enforcement wanted to hear what Don was talking to everybody about, how he was acting when he thought the cops weren't watching.
Until they get answers. And usually 9 times out of 10, they get the answers they want. They stay all over it. Ain't nobody doing nothing until they get what they want. And then when they get what they want, then they leave out, and then the business as usual kind of thing,
Do you feel like that it wasn't handled well that night, that they could have?
I think they've done the best they could, but they was given a lot of misinformation by CM. They just threw the whole investigation on from Allie to CM. I ain't gonna go no further with any of the rest of it. But they threw everything off so bad.
What the hell? Is she always like this on Fred Hill? Get off his nuts, girl. What the hell? I didn't know that she had such an issue. If Don wasn't on the panel, it would be Don Wells, #1 prime suspect. I don't understand this. I understand you have to talk a certain way when you're trying to get information from Don, but don't throw Fred under the bus and associate with him SA just because you want to get on Don's good side.
The police didn't know which way to turn.
What made you think Elena Crawford had anything to do with it?
Well, everybody's a suspect, just like the police say. Everybody's a suspect. Well, because she's done some dirty things to me, and she knows what she's done, and I ain't gonna say it,
Come on, tell us, what did she do?
I mean, she knows what she did, and all we did was try to help her. She can say whatever she wants, but we tried to help her, and I don't want to say no more. But she really, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Yeah. She knows what she did.
Is Tim Mullen still?
What do you guys think he was going to say right there? Do you think he was going to say she talked to a YouTuber? AKA Lips? That's what I was thinking. And Don didn't want to say it right then, because he doesn't want to give credibility to the stuff that's going around about Marlena, like the things Marlena supposedly said. Marlena Crawford's husband. Is she married? Is it a black guy, Jane Don't? Playboy is supposed to be a black guy. What is that, a ruddy person? And I've talked to Laura. I haven't talked to them in a couple weeks. I was staying in contact with them through Messenger, pretty regularly the first couple weeks since I had been in Tennessee, but last couple weeks, no, I haven't. But I am going to contact him, and I'm going to tell him. I'm going to clip that. I'm sending it to him. That's bullshit. He's making him look like a pedophile. I don't like that. And I don't like the shit. I'm actually kind of upset with PG about that stuff. I mean, I don't understand. Is she really? Is that how she? I haven't been able to watch her that much, so I didn't know she had. Is that how she usually is about him, or what? I'm sure she did too, miss you, but I'm kind of worried that Allie. Well, if it's true that Jose, is possibly involved, it makes me wonder if Allie is, and did Allie, I mean, gosh, I hope she didn't involve her kids or anything crazy. There's so many crazy things that go on in this world that seem so unimaginable, but they happen all the time. No, she's not 18 yet. If she was 18, I would contact her, but she's not 18. People already did try to, talk to her and stuff, but I just don't feel comfortable, reaching out to somebody under 18. Now, I did try to reach out with the one kid. He's 18 now, Cameron, and I tried to reach the kid at the end of the road who Marlena Crawford claimed that Candace had an inappropriate relationship with when he was 15 or something, or underage, because he's 18 now. So I did try to contact him, but yeah, I haven't been able to talk to either of them. That would be very, and if anybody could get those two to talk, but I don't know if anybody would ever admit something like that, that they did anything with Candace, That'd be like a secret you would never tell your whole life, right? Somebody could be involved in whole secrets. Yeah, well, because it's probably... because they all have a big part in this, a lot to lose, because I feel it has something to do with, trafficking or something like that. And it's probably not the first time that they've been involved in it, allegedly. Has anybody asked Don about the rumors about him having other kids? Does that ever come up? Or about Candace having other kids? Has anybody ever asked him that, about whether or not he had other girl children that they gave up? Because I want to see what he says. I want to see if he says no, because Candace straight up said, and that, Lips has a recording of Candace and talking about a baby girl that she had and she gave up before Summer was born, I think. I know it was before Summer, but I can't remember if it might have been, or maybe was it Dawn's too? Or was it the baby that she gave up? She might have not been Dawn's, actually. It's that first you've heard about her disdain for Fred. Do you watch her much? Oh, okay. Hey, Brooklyn. I am going to go in a second, but let's listen to... I'm afraid if I listen more of this, it's going to upset me.
Tim Mullins still advocating for your family?
Who?
Tim Mullins.
Oh yeah, Tim Mullins, real good friend. Definitely a real good friend.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, Donald.
Yeah.
You septic tanks up on your land?
Okay, I missed that. Sorry.
Do you have any septic tanks up on your land?
We got one right there by the house. Yep.
Is it in use?
Yeah, it's the one that goes to our house.
Okay.
And it's buried and it hasn't been, the dirt hasn't been disturbed or anything like that.
Did Marlena Crawford say you abused Candace?
I don't know if she said that or not, did she?
Somebody in the chat said she said that you abused Candace. You and Candace are still living together, right? That's your wife.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you and Candace are still together.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our issues,
Lucy Cat. Lucy Cat wanted to know.
Well, I mean, everybody knows I went to jail for domestic, and she went and begged the judge to drop all the charges. That's that night Jose was there. Me and Jose got into it.
Oh, Marlena was there?
No, Marlena was not there.
Oh.
No, me and Jose got into it, and he told the police that I chipped his tooth, and then he told the police later the truth that I did not chip his tooth.
Oh, Jody Sue said that. I'm sorry. Jody Sue was the one that said you abused Candace.
Of course she would say that. Pretty funny.
I'm going to be honest. What time I know Donald, he wasn't abusing Candace. Candace was abusing him.
It's okay, though.
I think Donald's afraid of Candace, not the other way around.
Is Candace doing better? Is she feeling better, Donald?
Yeah, I think she's doing a little bit better. I'm hoping they can figure it out. But I think she's doing better. I'm hoping she's asleep right now.
And Donald, what is the latest info from Allie?
They won't talk to nobody except for CM. We've had people try to talk to them and everything, and they will not talk to anybody except for, we'll do whatever CM tells them to say,
Right.
That's obvious.
Or is Chris still in contact with Allie and them? I didn't know. But like I said, I mean, I haven't been watching a lot of I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube channels lately. PG making her moves. Dick Matata. See, that's why I let Dumb Beach stay. I think I unblocked your other one too. If I didn't, I will. But because some of the stuff you say is so funny, but some of the stuff you say pisses me off. So you get to stay because you say funny things like that sometimes. Ellie. And she says ideal, and that was the thing oh my gosh, I always used to get on Jim about that because he'd say it too. He sound exactly like freaking PG too. How she says ideal, you have no ideal, and it would drive me crazy with Jim. I'd be like, it's idea. It's idea. He would never listen. So stubborn. Probably wondering if he had a thing for MC. MC. They do fight like a couple. I mean, it is weird how they go from, you know, just bickering, like they act like a couple. What if like PG's like one of their sister wives? When I asked the when we did that dowsing rods thing on the backup channel, it said that, yeah, there was some of that kind of stuff going on in that family. Bathed? Oh, bathe instead of bath? Bathe? Wait, hold on. She said bathed? Bathed? She says bathed? What? Wonder if Don has heard Candace said when he first went to jail about divorcing him. I'm sure. I know, I'm tired too, guys. I do have to go. I almost canceled this live because I'm so tired. Slowly but surely changing my schedule, so man. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out. Go check out Daisy's live. It's I never heard. Here's a tip. Here's just the tip. If you make a YouTube channel, make it your name something easy to remember and catchy. Because I have always had a hard time remembering what Daisy's channel is. She should change her channel name to just Daisy. Seriously. That would really, she should brand herself as Daisy. Because nobody can remember her critters on the farm or whatever it is. So tell her to rebrand herself. And not too long, yeah. Unless it's like super catchy, like, you know. It can be a few words only if it just, but not something like hers where it's like a sentence. But anyways, good night, everybody.